Hi everyone, so today in this video we will find the roots of a quadratic equation. I have already saved this file as roots of quadratic equation.c. Then let us write the comment first. So program to find roots of a quadratic equation, and the quadratic equation would be in the form ax square plus bx plus c, and its discriminant would be d equals to like b square minus 4ac. Let us write it down in the comment. So ax square plus bx plus c would be the quadratic equation, and we will write the discriminant also. So first of all, let us complete this. So bx plus c, and then under that we have to write the discriminant. So discriminant would be like, let us say, variable d, and then we will calculate it as b square minus 4ac. So let us write it down first. So b square minus 4ac. Let us complete the comments, and then we will write the program now. So we have to include the math.h so that we would be able to use the square root function. So square root of discriminant would be used in finding the roots, and we will, as always, use the stdi also for the standard input output. So let us write it down. So hash include mat.h and hash include stdio.h. So hash include stdio.h. Okay. So now let us write void main, and then we will declare variables, insert the coefficient from the user, uh, have the discriminant's value, and then compare the d's value with 0. If greater than 0, then we will write the formula and then we will print it. If it is equal to 0, then the roots would be equal, and we will just write it down also. And then if d is less than 0, then it would be having an imaginary part of complex number, that is minus or negative value under the root. So let us write it down. So I have declared 3 a, b and c, the coefficients of the quadratic equations part, and then double d for this discriminant r1 and r2, the roots, and real and imaginary part when d is less than equal to 0. So less than 0. So printf enter coefficient a, b and c. So we will use scanf now. So %lf, meaning long double with a format specifier in C, where the width of the decimal place is controlled by this. And so over here we have to insert three values. So %lf, 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 and then after this I have to give the address of the variable. So ampersand or and a comma and b and comma and c, and then semicolon. Now what I have to do is I have to calculate the discriminant's value. So let us write it at comment. So d would be equal to b square minus 4ac. So let us write it down. We can't give power to a b, so we have to multiply the b variables to get the b square. So let us proceed ahead. So d would be equal to b star b, that is b square, and then minus 4ac. So minus 4 multiplied by a multiplied by c, semicolon. Now what I have to do is I have to check if d's value is greater than 0 or not. So first of all we will write this part, and then if d would be equal to 0, then what we have to write, and if d is less than equal to 0, then what we have to write. We will see it soon enough. So if d is greater than 0, then root would be equal to minus b plus square root of the discriminant upon 2a. So I will just write it down. So upon 2 star a for 2a, and then for r2 we just have to like minus b minus square root of d. So I will just copy paste that part, and then we will change plus into minus, and then I will write here r2, and then we will write printf root 1 equals to %2 lf, and then root 2 equals to %2 lf. We have just given the long double format specifier of like width of 2 to the decimal place. So root 1 equals to %2 lf, and then and root 2 would equals to %2 lf, and then after comma we will write the values of r1 and r2, so that in place of %2lf, the value of that variable would be printed. So let us go ahead. So r2 equals to %2lf. So let us write it down, %2lf, and then after this we have to write comma and then variable names, that is r1 and r2. Now this is completed. Now we have to check if d's value is 0 or not. So else, if d double equals to 0, means both the roots would be equal. So we can directly write r1 equals to r2 equals to minus b by 2a. So let us write it down. So r1 equals to r2, which is equal to minus b upon 2a. So let us write it down. So minus b upon, in the bracket, 2 star a, and then semicolon. Now I have to print root 1 equals to root 2 equals to %2lf. So let us write that down. So let me just copy paste from above part, and then let us remove this. Okay, equals to, and then I can just have one variable value over here, because I have only used %2lf one time. Now else part, that is if it is not positive, it is also not equal to 0, then it should be less than 0. And if it is like that, then it would be containing imaginary number, that is the complex number, which is equal to a negative number under the square root. So let us write it down. So real part would be minus b upon 2a, and imaginary part would be that we have declared the imag variable above only. So imaginary part would be square root of minus d upon 2a. So let me just copy paste from above, and I'll just have minus d, so minus over here. So let us write that down, and we will directly write printf, a real part plus imaginary part, and another root would be real minus imaginary part. So let us write it down. So printf, and then root 1 equals to %2lf plus %2lf, and our root 2 would be equal to %2lf minus %2lf, that is real plus imaginary would be the first root, and real minus imaginary would be the second root. We don't have to calculate the value because it is like that only. So let us go ahead, and root 2 would be equal to %2lf minus %2lf. We will copy paste from here only. So just convert plus into minus. Now we have to give the variables value to this %2lf. So first there would be real plus imaginary value, then real minus imaginary value. So image, okay, and then semicolon. Now this was a small program to find the root of a quadratic equation. Let us run this. So we will write /n so that it would be printed in the new line. Okay, everything looks good now. Let us run this program. So no errors. Now let us just insert a's value as 2, and then b's value as like anything you like, so 80, and then c's value as 1. So root 1 was minus 0.012 and root 2 was minus 39. So let us go ahead and let us insert another value. So let us run this again. Before that, let us insert /n over here, means enter coefficient a, b and c. We were writing a above earlier, so let us give the coefficients as 1 and 7 and 12. So let us go ahead, and roots should be -3 and -4. Okay, so we have got the correct answer. Now let us insert some conditions where d was 0 and some condition where d is less than 0. So let us proceed ahead. So for d equals to 0, b square should be like 16, and then a and b, so 4 into 4, that is 16 also. So this was a condition d equals to 0. Let us go for d is less than 0. So I will give a larger number for a and c and a small value for b. So let us give 1 over here and over here. So these are the roots of the quadratic equation. So thank you guys for watching the video. Do like, share and subscribe. Also comment down below if you are having any doubts.